from Steve.
And we're
it
back.
is outsider of chaotic.
Yep.
Is the raw of what Kandor told us.
Yes.
All right, I'll go ahead and put that in there.
All right. So, I was getting the gold value of what you find across the rooms. So this is what is within all of the rooms combined. Look at all that sweet, sweet copper.
Oh, baby.
I'm going to need another refreshing of bull's strength to bring that out.
Time to roll up my coin throwing.
There's a few other miscellaneous things here that would be findable. Let me pick from them what would be there. What is that? How does that potion of goodberry work? That
you drink it and it acts as a good berry, I would assume.
That can't be possible because potions only can target
you. Yeah.
I assume I would see the artwork of the princess.
Oh,
yeah, I already mentioned that. Yeah.
Clearly, you just animate a berry to have sentience and have it drink the potion. It becomes a good berry. There you go. Problem solved. Duh.
Okay. Yeah,
it's just a bunch of blended up good berries. That's what's in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I would recognize it as the woman that he was trying to reunite with, right?
Yes. That is his wife. There's that. There's this and this. I hate to give you this, but this, a potion of protection from chaos.
Oh man, I was hoping to make use of this potion of protection from good, like a fucking paladin leading the party.
This
one day that shit's gonna come in use. Like, you guys can use it against Mal if Mal gets taken over at some point. That is literally like my long game plan for what that shit's gonna do.
And that. Everything else is not of substantial enough value to take.
Okay. Anyone have anything else to do here? I'm getting the EBGBs.
Nope. All right. So
I'm quick to get out of there.
Where again was the party on their way to?
Well, hold on, Steve. That thing I talked about, is that?
Yeah, you wanna let everybody know how Aravos is feeling after being cucked by the party, as you put it?
So, in general, while you guys are going off, like, looting everything, Aravos did say he wanted to stay in this room and, like, study things still. So I guess when you guys are done looting, you can come get him. But during that time, he is taking notes on this room. Is there anything else I can learn, or is it just the knowledge checks we've already learned?
The knowledge checks you've already gained are pretty useful.
Okay.
This is pretty elaborate, though. Like, the detail work that was done on this is exceptional. And you... Hold on a sec. Let me think about how I would determine this. Give me a knowledge religion. Give you one more potential check here, since you're kind of hitting at the very good. You're kind of hitting at the core of something. So as you're kind of looking around, this is some advanced level stuff to understand. Like the value that a temple provides to something like this, a creature like this, in kind of facilitating the idea of what being godlike is. And in that realization, like, it kind of clicks. It's not very likely that a creature like a cyclopean horror would just come of that of its own understanding. Something else kind of had to have the idea for something this profound, and have probably sold it to this creature and the value that it has. because this is not the kind of architecture that like this Cyclops that like was so narrow-minded that it would just arbitrarily try deliberately to kill the thing that was consecrating the ground and not deal with the things around it would have done. That's the kind of thing that like if this were going to be a temple it would just have like a bunch of stones stacked here and there, and it would be like an outdoor shrine. This is underground, deliberately hidden, with symbols that are barely understandable by the common person to draw in the people that know of it. But otherwise, like well protected, deep within the regions, but well put together for sacrificing and for other holy rituals.
Thing. Aravos notes this in his book. And he makes a note of things he wants to do in town, and then he looks at where's the corpse of this creature?
Over by the rubble over here. Or the corpse of the creature, or the corpse of the demigod?
The demigod.
It is laying upon the altar, so you'd have to kind of climb your way up it a bit to get to the altar, because it is 7.5 feet tall.
Yeah, so I'll do that. Look at it, look at the altar, and then I'll want to spit on it, and then say out loud, puny god, and then leave.
Okay. All right. The 6 of you head on get out.
Can I get the world map for a sec, Steve?
Absolutely. I was going to bring you back there.
So,
and let's
originally our plan had been to go back to the military camp.
Yep.
But given what just has all happened, we may want to swing by Kazaram first to try and offload some of this stuff and buy whatever things people need. Would that make sense?
Sounds good to me.
If Mal brings that up, does anyone have an alternative suggestion?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Heracles will want to hear from us.
That is true. Then I guess we will slightly deter. It's not much of a deterrent, I guess, but to Kazaram.
Mm-hmm. Let's see how your journey goes. Ooh, I want to use a different set of dice real quick. Hold on. I got new, slightly bigger dice. Well, they're not new, but I'm not getting to use them much, so I'll be right back.
Time to get a second Temple of the Old Gods.
We unlocked our Temple of Edzola. Yeah,
these are mine.
It's a Temple of Zoloft.
Thick boy
nice.
D10s.
What are those made out of?
They are made out of brass.
Metal and aluminum foil?
I don't call them tin tizzy, and they definitely should not be drinking 40s of motor oil.
Oh.
Nothing there. Can you get a couple of these as you guys travel? Ooh, shit. Good dice. Woof. All right. See what the party sees as you are traveling. So, as you are traveling, off a... Let's see what the distance would be on this. This is mathematically going to matter.
You still haven't updated your perception macro
Have I
for
not?
the party. No, I'm still not on it, and
It
there's
still says
Arius.
Arius. Yeah, that's pretty great. Let me get a perception then from Aravos and Ra. Still perceiving after dead.
He's alive, or his soul, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Somebody's looking at the stream, cheating.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
No, I looked specifically to see if you had updated your macro and make sure that it was on it.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, I need to get in there and start farming
It's
my...
1 for every 10 feet.
Get your viewer points up.
Yeah, I gotta farm that shit, man.
I'm at like 50,000 points.
As you are traveling by, you will notice not too far in the distance, about 300 feet out, Zeke, you notice there is a large iron golem.
I'll stop
Let me see if it
Boy
notices
here.
you. You're gonna stop, Pierre?
Yeah.
Okay. Pierre will bring the cart to a halt. Let me. What's up, real quick?
Yeah, and I'll tap Mal and point.
You tap Mal on the shoulder and you point out to it, and it's like looking off in another direction. But there is a massive iron golem off in the distance.
Hey. What did we originally get this other, was that also an iron golem?
Yeah. It was also an iron golem.
Does this look to be malfunctioning?
It's hard to tell from where you're at. You're like 300 feet out. And even the other one, you didn't know it was malfunctioning until you started carving into it.
Oh, okay. I thought it had like fucked up eyes.
No. Or I think it did, but again, it's looking the opposite direction.
Oh, okay.
If it turned to look your way, you would potentially like it. You know that it would like start to follow.
This far off, and seems fine. We already have more of these limbs than I know what to do with at the moment. So,
What are you talking about? Why have we stopped? Pierre, what's going on?
there's one of the automatons wandering about. They seem to be more frequent than I may have thought. But only I have figured out how to work them. You see? The Master Armorer.
Very impressive. Are we going to keep going, or are we going to watch it all day?
It's a beautiful creation, is it not?
Yes.
You want to destroy it?
No.
There's more than
I know you
one of
guys
them?
like exotic
There's just one.
creatures, so let's leave it.
They come
I
in
mean, in
singles.
total.
They come in singles.
I thought there was only like one supposedly rambling.
No, there are many of them. When there are many iron golems that roam the area. They're just a very, very high rarity. But they are a remnant of when the old wizards controlled the area. This one does seem a little further south than where it was known that the wizards used to travel, from the notes you got last time.
I think I'm okay with just proceeding. We have a lot of materials. There's nothing to... I don't even know if the carts could hold more limbs at the moment until I make use of the existing limbs.
I'm going to just mark it down on the map.
Sure.
Just for future reference.
Man, you guys see a lot of these. Another tribe of centaurs comes running along by you. This is not this rare. This is not this like unique or not
common?
this common. Yeah, and yeah.
Ignore these creatures; they're very rude. Let's keep going.
And you guys will arrive at Kazarum. As you arrive, you notice something very different here. There are a lot of these colored banners, not banners, these colored flags that are hanging outside of various places' windows. Blue and green and red.
Are there multiple on any of them, or
No. Each place only displays one color if they are displaying any at all.
Can I... does this seem to be some sort of, like, political thing?
You can surmise that that's very likely. There were 3 candidates in the election, and these are 3 colors. Yeah.
Okay. So quickly to politics. 3 candidates for what, actually? I forget how this
to replace the mayor of Kazarum.
The mayor. Okay.
Yes.
Who are the 3? Can I go up to someone and sort of like start a conversation? And
you will get the details. The first was the woman that you know of before. The woman who kind of incited things and brought the spirits to her control.
The one that spoke Ancient Common?
Yes. The other is... where did I fucking put that note? I have like a shit ton of notes on this, and I don't remember where I put them. It's gotta be in my keep, right? I think I remember one of them being a dwarven man who was running. Oops, running.
Probably a human. No half-orc, I assume. Kent.
I know Kazarim. They wouldn't vote a half-orc in.
I know. You want to vote a half-orc in.
No.
Well, also, it sounded like the half-orcs didn't have as much interest in that.
We're just weak beings with no innate spell-casting abilities.
Aldronicus, your sarcasm does not go over my head anymore.
It's almost as if I have terrible charisma and can't really do sarcasm properly, so it comes off as very obvious.
If only. Clearly, I have max charisma.
Oh, yes, yes.
I understand you completely.
The classical charisma max wizard. DC 5 to pass my level 8 spell. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very effective.
There is one other, but I cannot find any of the notes I have, so I'll have to dig for them.
I assume none of them are half-orc anyways, right?
No, none of them are half-orc, unfortunately.
Or
not for mayor anyways.
If you ask about the candidates, you'll say there were like 4 or 5 others that like clawed their way to the point that people recognized them at one point. But all that remains of the candidates are 3, and at this point, like, people are becoming very splintered about which candidate is the candidate to choose. And you know that this is really late. Like, the elections were supposed to be almost half a month ago, and they still have not occurred.
Oh man, this is annoying. I can't copy. Okay. Can you open the... Actually, you know what? This is what I'll do. I'll take a screenshot.
Okay.
And post. So I'm just trying to take the... First things first, I just want to get the loot distributed so people, if they have specific things they want to get, I want them to make sure they have time and whatnot. Copy. Can I paste? Yes, I can. Okay. So that's the list of stuff that I'm selling. And I'm saving the ancient common things.
Okay.
Can you let me know what we get from that? And then I'm going to distribute gold to the party.
Ooh, you're selling the Manacles of Cooperation, huh?
Yeah, I don't...
They're quite useful in another game.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I have this itching suspicion that these fucking insane things have zero desire to... And they actually have to be placed on a humanoid. So...
Yeah.
I don't know. While Steve's doing that, I would just generally approach the party with
all of that, by the way, will sell for full value unless you want to try to haggle.
No haggling.
Okay,
so you just want me to consolidate that down?
Yep.
I think we should take some time to finalize whatever arrangements. What I'm asking you is exceptionally dangerous, and I know this. But I think all of you understand the importance of it. The man in the library told us very specifically that we are the last hope. If anyone has any hesitance or anything that they need to express on the matter, please, my doors are always open to any of you. But
there's a double entendre there somewhere. Because you have a door in the cart.
Oh, yes. but I'll distribute the loot. Hold on, let me consolidate it quick, and then I can give people the number. But then beyond that, that's all Mal is saying for now.
So everyone do your shopping, and we'll meet at Rackless's tomorrow morning. Is this agreeable?
That seems fine to me.
Good. I'll take my share whenever Mal's done, and then walk off from the party.
I'll be at the end.
Continually giving Spinks the cut eye as I grab my money.
Not the kunai, hopefully.
No, not the kunai.
If you are, you better be talking about a ranged weapon.
Got him. Deplatformed for that comment.
AUNAI, right? That's what you were saying?
Everybody watches Dan does math. Everybody stare at Dan until he gets the number.
Well, we can assume how much money we have, so people can start doing their stuff if they want.
There will be no
Or just
assumptions.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab
No.
a quick snack.
So what are other people doing in town? Cassius, you're heading to the inn.
Oh, I'm meant for tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go there. I'll be there if they want to find me.
Okay. What's everybody doing in the meantime?
I'm looking
You get into town about midday. On the 30th of Andurum.
I would specifically ask Sphinx if she's feeling okay again. If she's feeling rested. I just need her to quickly put something on my armor. She can do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
It should be much easier than whatever monstrosity you did to that man's revolver or whatever that thing is called. I would like the ability for my armor to store magic in it. Can you do that?
Is that something I can do?
I mean, probably. You'll probably figure it out. You're a skilled magician.
Sure, I probably can. Maybe.
It's going to be a little bit difficult, though, as that normally requires a caster level of 12. And I actually don't know if you can override that with a check. Oh, no, hold on. I'm looking at weapons. That's the weapon spell storing.
Yeah.
One sec. Armor spell storing is less.
I think it's just the modifier of it. It's a +1 modifier.
No, the special, some of the special ones have a specific caster level, and the creator must. It says under special, creator must be a caster of at least 12th level. So I don't know that you can produce it. That is so weird that it has such a high caster level requirement.
Wait, is that actually right?
Yeah.
So that just adds to the DC? Why is it so hard to put this simple ass thing on? Wow, yeah.
And I don't know if you can override it when you're crafting it with a spellcraft, or that you can override it. I think you have to be the caster level. Let me double check.
If it's a special, yeah, I don't know. Wait, hold on. Does that work for everything? No, it's okay. Yeah, you can replace anything in a special requirement by adding 5 to the DC. You can't replace the feat, but you can replace the spells or the special. It's kind of absurd for a +1 bonus that it asks you to be 12th level as a special thing. so continuing my math here.
Okay, that's weird. Why bother? I guess the level requirement thing's just to make it more difficult. That's silly. Alright, so yeah, you assume you could probably put it together. It'll be more difficult than usual, but...
So everyone can add 434 platinum and 33 gold pieces.
Let's see. Thanks.
444 platinum.
434 platinum and 33 gold pieces.
Costs.
33 GP. Alright.
Okay. Spinks will complete the armor in a couple of days' time.
And while she's working on the armor, I would like to see if I can find someone that does spirit tattoos here.
Throwing new content at me without talking to me about it first.
I didn't think I'd have this much wealth to do.
Know what these fucking spirit tattoos are? Where the fuck do I even find this shit?
Oh, maybe.
I think we talked about this once before in the past, but
maybe. Oh, wait, are they not? Okay, hold on. They're magic tattoos. The fuck is the? Oh, piercings. No, they're piercings.
okay. That I know we talked about.
Yeah, sorry. Shadow piercings. I just want the basic ones.
Okay, so the minor ones?
Yeah, the ones that give CMD against grappling.
Okay. You can pick up a set of those. And somebody will install them.
1800.
Yep. And it hurts.
Oh yeah, but Mal likes the pain. He tattoos himself all the time. What's the difference?
I mean, these are like some spikes and needles being jutted into all over your body. Gonna come out looking kind of like Pinhead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, basically.
Yep.
At some point, Mal comes back and he's like, if you're scared of being grabbed, there's someone that has techniques for that here, if you wish. Never mind. It's a bad joke.
What are the rest of you doing with your time and money?
Good question.
I know what I want to do. If someone wants to go first, though.
I mean, you just spoke up, so you go.
Okay. I'd like to arrange a meeting with the Raven.
Okay.
Go to like a shady bar and try to gather his followers' attention to arrange a meeting with them.
Oh, you don't have to work hard. You can,
Okay.
you can like, if you start looking for the Raven, you will find the Raven. And he will meet you at a table at a bar as you like sit down.
Is there a more private place we may converse?
Everywhere is private. You're fine here. I should maybe make some things clear. Since you've helped, things have gotten a lot better for me. I can do a lot more than I once could before. What are you looking for me for, though? Nobody looking for me is ever looking for the wrong reason.
Yes, I'm looking for a bit of partnership with you.
What's your end goal?
You remember that, or is that organization that's fiddling with Toth symbols still running this show and over here?
The cult still exists. I won't put them down yet.
I'm interested in setting up a organization. Is there willing people looking for some work?
What do you mean by setting up the organization? You looking to make them more powerful?
No.
Their reach was already quite dangerous to our town initially.
I seek to destroy them, replace them, control the flow of information.
So you wish to replace one group that wishes to steal information with another?
No, the principles we operate under would be quite different. There's a new god I've heard about. I'm thinking paying some tribute to this god would be more beneficial.
There are no new gods. Except
There's
for
one.
men trying to make themselves gods.
Perhaps.
Are you in the market? Your
I'm in the
mentor
market
would
for
not
men.
be pleased.
I'm in the market for men. That's all you need to know. Other men?
I
such
can
men?
get you plenty of men.
Not that kind of men. I thought you were the one to see about this. Perhaps I was wrong. And I would start getting up from the table.
You could go, but you won't find anyone else who can help you as well as I can.
Well, are you agreeable or not?
Look, I don't do my talking in friendly gestures or conversation. What are you offering to me?
A seat at the table, once the table's constructed.
The table's already mine. You won't get forward with it if you don't have me at the table. So I think you better make a bigger offer than just a limited partnership.
A full partnership, then. Equal partners in this endeavor.
What's your end goal? I'm going back to the real question. What does Aravos want in this?
What does any man want? I want influence, power. I believe if you help me in this goal, you will gain as much for yourself as well. Do you have powerful spellcasters to work with?
I have much, much more than that. The current followers of the cults are very worried, and they are willing to make a lot of deals for some limited level of trade, some ability to still conduct their goings-on without being a negative influence. This change for them could result in the end of what they do.
My goal is to... Perhaps we get the desperate ones to disseminate some of their secrets and make them public.
They know not their own secrets. Their secrets have been lost to the Great Scepter. You're not aware of...
No. I've been gone for quite some time. Perhaps you can fill in the gaps.
No, you're not aware of the Cult of the Scepter. The Thoth is a very powerful god. And many people choose different aspects of him to be more focused to. The Cult of the Scepter believe in the implicit idea that knowledge is literal power. They use their knowledge to imbue things to push forward their cause. The information that they sell becomes the experiences that power the things that make them strong. They don't know what it is you don't know. They don't know what it is that no one knows any further, because they've given it away in exchange for something greater. Only one thing knows what it is, and that's whatever it is they are pushing towards, whatever it is they are imbuing. My worry is that they've forgotten what they're even imbuing. But we'll wake up soon.
So we need to stop this, whatever they're imbuing, to end their influence.
If they believed there was something more valuable, a better place to put their secrets, a more amicable religion to follow, perhaps they could be persuaded away. But it would take some convincing and effort.
I'm looking to bankroll this. If money would assist in this.
I'm not a man of gods. I personally deplore the idea of worshipping things that you cannot see, worshipping things that only sometimes do what you want them to do, and that often seem to be leeching off of all of us. So I'm not gonna be able to particularly be of direct help, but I know people who work within the Order that would be very happy to hear that there is money to fix the direction that religion is going in this town. What is your contribution that you're willing to offer?
Would Arvos have any idea of what a reasonable sum to
give me a
in?
knowledge political science? If you don't have ranks, it's a knowledge local at a very high DC. No, not at all. The fundamental idea of understanding what it would take to, like, change the overarching infrastructure, to, like, use enough money to change the religious architecture of a town is a pretty complex idea. It's a lot like trying to understand in principle, like, how do you remove, like, the religious influences from a city or a town or whatever. And that's something that historians have argued about for years.
I put a sack of 400 platinum on the table. This should get you started. I want some reassurances that there will be some return on my investment.
He reaches out and taps the bag a little bit, and you see his ring, a ring that he has on his finger, glow slightly. And he...
Can I spellcraft this? I assume it's some sort of appraisal magic,
yep.
But I'm curious.
Yep, so with a tap, you can see that it determines the type of coins that are within the bag. And the tap also seems to make his hand kind of glow slightly, as if it's taking in a weight of the bag. This will be of benefit. I'm sorry, what was it you said you were looking for after that? You wanted to be kept abreast of things?
Yes.
Well, this donation that you are making will help ensure a turn in the religious order. But you still haven't mentioned, what is this religious order? And you notice he hasn't picked up the bag at all. He's just letting it sit there for the moment.
You mean which order I would like to replace it with?
Yes. People are not going to want to move in any direction, regardless of the money you plant, if they know not where they're moving.
I've heard tales of a lost son of Thoth and Shashat. A bastard, if you will. It's some sort of... It's a tale. I don't know if there's any stock in it, but I like the principles of it. It's more of a mixture of both. Knowledge gained, the best secrets kept for themselves, but the the ones that the others hold to hold power over them are released. So knowledge and secrets together. I assume this may be agreeable to the ones who are wavering from this cult.
He runs a finger over the bag and then puts it to his face and thinks for a moment. You need to... Your idea lacks substance. Perhaps I can try to seed it. But it needs fertilizer if you wish for it to grow.
This is why I sought you out.
Yes.
You are more experienced in these matters than me.
But I am not one who comprehends how to build a religion. Take some time, study. I'll keep in mind our conversation, and I know you have this. And he reaches in, he puts a hand, he pries open the bag and puts a hand in and pulls out a handful of coins, and he pockets them. I'll keep this as a deposit. You come back with a more cemented idea for what you're trying to spread. And I'll start laying seed while I run the plows.
So as I take the bag back, you want to just tell me how many I have left, or?
Are you gonna go back and count it?
Well, eventually, just so I have it on my character sheet what I have.
So he's taken out 100 platinum.
Okay. Yeah, if he has nothing else to talk about, I don't really have anything else to say to him, and we'll part ways. I'll finish my drink here and
get
ready for the meeting Heracles tomorrow.
Okay, so out of character, you understood what he was saying, right?
Yeah, come back with a better, more thought out plan,
yeah.
And then
he can get things ready. He can make sure that the people that need to be ousted are ousted, and the people that are ready to listen have their ears primed for it. But he can't make it grow if you don't have anything that helps it grow. All right. What are other people doing? You got your piercings. I'm gonna stab more things into you.
I want to know from Mal how long we're planning on staying here, because I have an enchant I want to get on my breastplate, but I don't know if Sphinx will actually have the time to do that, so I'm trying to figure out if I should just go seek someone else.
Yeah, and I want Sphinx to make me a Jingasa of the Fortunate Soldier.
What? A Jenga of the Fortunate Soldier?
Jingasa is a war hat, it says. Pretty much I negate or I turn a critical hit or a sneak attack into a regular attack once per day. Jin.
I found it. I just looked up of the Fortunate Soldier.
There's no major hurry, so if people need Sphinx to take some time to make some stuff, that's fine.
Sphinx. I hope you like crafting.
Because I brought this list.
It's okay, I needed time to work on my homework anyways. I mean, I needed time to just breathe. What?
Alright, so I guess how many of you are bringing Sphinx a list of things to make?
I just have the one thing.
Okay. Because I'm just trying to get an idea of how many days this is going to eat up.
Yeah, I just have, the deciding for me on what I can get and have done was whether or not Sphinx would actually be able to do it, because obviously if she can't, it's going to cost a lot more.
It sounds like you're sticking around in town is what Mal just said. So as long as people need to get things done.
Okay. So yeah, I have one item, maybe a second, but one for sure.
Okay. Get the list to Sphinx. What is Cassius doing in town?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I've been like looking up some stuff and trying to figure out what to spend this windfall on.
That's fine.
So-
Let's jump to the meeting with Orachless then. Unless somebody
Oh, I'm
has
not
Hold on.
going.
You
Yeah.
said give Spinks the list where, like,
just
am
put
I actually
put
doing
it in the conscripted chat of stuff that you want, and then we'll go over how long it's going to take, and what can be speed up and what can be sped up and what can't, or etc.
Yeah, I'm not going to the meeting.
Okay. So
I'm gonna be at the inn like I told them that I would be.
okay. So Mal, Cassius does not want to meet with Orachless. Is anybody else wanting to stay out of meeting Orachless?
What?
On the-
Stay out of the.
Yeah, is anybody not wanting to meet with Orachless?
I'm definitely going to the meeting.
Okay.
I need to watch them, man. Them evil wizards.
Okay.
I'm going, obviously.
So I guess Spinks, are you going to come along, or are you going to work on equipment?
If I'm needed, I should probably take as much time as possible to get this stuff worked on.
Okay.
That's
All
fine.
right. So the four of you head to see Orachless. You'll wait not very long at this point, actually. Orachless is willing to put aside things to allow you all in. You are led up. Can head up to the room. The door will open. And she will be standing there waiting for you. All right. So, where are we? Come on, out with it! One of you, god damn it!
Yep. Looking at Mal.
Sorry, I was just... So, just so you know, Bella, we did clarify how that works. So, it'll be a +3 in total. If you still want it, it's still an extra boost to your AC. But
Why
does
is it
not,
a +3?
because
Because
it
the
goes off...
Defiant said it
Because
was
it
just
goes
another.
off... It goes off the magical enhancement, which is still lower than the innate enhancement.
Correct.
So it has this like innate +2 enhancement, and then the magical is at +1 at the moment.
It's a
So
little
you-
hard to understand because it uses an old rule for adamantium, which is not similar to the way that things are in the current edition.
Okay, so basically it's turning it into a +3?
Yeah.
So it's going to be that.
You would gain an additional AC against chaotic and the DR, so it's still good, but just understand that it's only +1 AC on top of what's already on the armor versus those creatures.
Okay.
But you still get the DR, which is pretty good. So
Yeah. Price-wise, does that
St-
mean...
still the same price. Still the same
Okay,
price.
so that's where it was confusing, was the... Like, when you said +3, I was making it think like, oh, okay, so this is taking it to like a +3 in total, so 9,000 versus 4,000?
No. I mean, I meant that your armor is currently a +9 AC.
Yes.
Versus these guys, it'll be a +10 AC. Versus the outsiders,
Okay,
and you also get the DR versus them.
okay.
So it's still good. But
Gotcha. All right, I understand. That's where I was confused. I thought you were meaning for like the bonus cumulative, so I was trying to figure out like,
No.
shit, is this the 9,000 price I have to figure out if I can afford now?
Also, I just looked at the calendar, so there's something real quick I need to pause with before we get to the Orachless conversation. And I need to change a bit of the music. Nope, that's the wrong one.
It's Cassius's birthday.
Let's just do this one. Ra, you are making your morning prayers. You've held fast on your prayers to Shishat, right? You dabbled with the mistress a little bit, but found
I
yourself
feel like
back.
that was more of like a drunken, I'm upset, and then like next day was like, nah, I'm back to...
In your prayers, they are much more empty than usual. You find yourself praying, and as you pray, you sort of like fall into like a meditative state. Part of the communing with your goddess is taking the time to revere her, to think on her, to truly feel what it means to follow her. But in this moment, there is no feeling from your goddess. There is no feeling from the outside. There is just the darkened emptiness that responds. Tighter, quieter, more alone. In your meditation, you feel further away from the world than you've ever felt before. Lost, maybe afraid? How does this make Ra feel?
I think probably just like more confused than anything. Like, what is like, because I know what I think has happened, and so it's like, is this the point where I start losing my connection to her and my magic? Like, so just confused and nervous as to what this like lack of connection really means.
You know she's gone. You're pretty sure of that, right? She's left.
I'm pretty sure, but I think there's a part of me too that's like wants, like, think deep down I believe it, but there's a part of me that's like, well, is the mistress just trying to like trick me? But then when I like think about it, I'm like, but everything makes sense. I haven't heard from her in a long time. Like, everything lines up, but I think there's like that part of her mind that like wants to believe maybe the mistress was just trying to like trick me into believing she's gone for good.
Give me a knowledge religion. And give me a will save. You focus deep on Zashat and your belief that she can't be gone. But all the facts, you're just thinking about the facts, the cold truth of it. You defend knowledge. You fight for knowledge. To dismiss knowledge would be foolish. And you have what seems to be pretty solid knowledge. The visions of the mistress, the emptiness that responds to you then and now. A story that seems plausible, reinforced by the stories of others. You find the emptiness makes it hard to concentrate. You find the connection severed. You find your spells lost. Welcome to the first day of Siathis, the month of Shishat. Welcome to the hardest month of your character's life.
Oh man.
So, the party. We can jump back to the party heading to see Heracles. Does Ra want to discuss anything with the party beforehand? You only lose your spells. You haven't lost your other powers. Your other powers come from within you. They are part of your valor and your determination.
Not yet. Not like before the conversation with Heracles. I'll probably plan on bringing it up afterwards, but
Okay.
I don't want like people to be thinking about that when we need to deal with what.
While you are
Heracles.
roaming through the streets, give me a perception. Okay. You can make your way to Siarek to visit Heracles. Switch back up the music. Nice and pleasant again. Well, on with it.
Well, why are we here, Arvos? I actually don't know what I wanted to hear from this man.
I suppose he's expecting gifts or whatever that book he gave me was supposed to be that I was supposed to do for him. Is that what you're here for, you selfish little bastard?
Yikes. It's a little aggressive.
It's on point!
You did say the next time we were by you'd have something for me. But aside from that, we have much to report.
On with it!
Mal, you want me to?
We are going. We're going into it. We have learned that it is a chaotic outsider of some sorts, that it is very resilient to our magics. I do not know if all of us will return. I do not know if any of us will return, but that is what we are doing. If there's any last things you have to say to us or to advise us on, then
What's wrong with you? You look different. Did you... What are those things?
They are to prevent things from grabbing at me. These creatures apparently suck the life out of you. Have you not been scrying them?
That is an absolutely vile-looking thing! Ugh!
What is Emerald even doing if you're not scrying and learning these things' abilities? Apparently we've learned more in Chrysaisen than you've learned with that Emerald.
But there's something beyond that. Did you engage in necromancy?
I do dabble.
No.
Times.
Deep in necromancy. You stink of it. Well, stink isn't the right word. I can see it burning off of you. Almost as if you've been tainted or cursed or... Wait a second! He, motions out for a book that comes flying off the shelf to him. Who did you make an agreement with? What have you damned this party to? I saw it, I knew it, in this book. In the book that was brought back to me. Who did you make an agreement with? You did bring him the law book, right? I'm not incorrect on that? You brought him the book on law magic?
I gave him, all the books that Mal had given me to read. I gave to him.
Who have you made an agreement with?
Well, your little apprentice couldn't have left town if I didn't help.
What did you do, Aravos? How did you fuck this up for everyone?
Mommy has little kid issues.
I thought
kid issues that she was willing to kill for.
I thought you said your family didn't want you back.
Arvos knows nothing of his family, if I'm being honest at this point.
It's a lot more complicated than I initially had assumed. I have some further notes for you. We may have things to discuss in private afterwards. It may shed some light on this issue.
Maldronicus, do you realize the danger you've put yourself in?
I do. I tend to make my decisions first on what my heart says, and then regret them on what my intellect says.
You strike me at times as a very strong man, or a very smart man, and other times you strike me as a fool.
I didn't want to kill those men. You know I could.
Men are better dead when they do no right.
I suppose so. It would have been a warm-up for what we are to do. But what does that accomplish? There are more men that do not go home to their families. What does that accomplish?
Perhaps their families don't need existence.
That is what you feel. But nonetheless, here I am in a predicament. I agree. I regret it at times.
If you have a disease, it can be infected upon your lineage. That disease is easiest wiped out if you eliminate the source.
So should I have killed Arvos? Is that what you're saying?
Arvos is doing well at times. He just needs to be more aware of his surroundings.
He needs to be more aware of the fact that he is just a little boy that thinks he's much more than that.
I am in the room, gentlemen. You can speak to me as if I'm here.
I'll speak to you in what way I wish to speak to you. As long as you wear that amulet.
Tell me, Arachbus, what would you have had me do? Murder all those men? Cause whatever chaos results, is that?
Chrysizen needs to be taken down a peg. They've had it in themselves for so long that they are so much better than everywhere else. If whatever group was responsible for making you make this agreement could have been ousted, you've ousted other things before. Surely you could have managed this.
So offing a few homeboys in their little pretend gang is going to accomplish anything.
It would have gotten you here without making this terrible deal.
He would have been killed where he stood if he had attempted such things.
I doubt it.
I don't.
I watched the force that disappeared from the plains as you arrived on it. It took not long for it to vanish. I could see its energy ebbing up as you, I assume, awoken it. It wasn't there before, but when I looked, when I saw the danger, you've fallen much stronger things. You carry with you on your cart. You carry with you on yourselves examples of the powerful things you've slain. And you mean to tell me you think politics would have beat all of you? If you wanted to, you could wipe, if not for me, you could probably wipe this town from end to end and instill yourselves as its leaders.
This town is not Chrysizen, Heracles. Come on, come now. Chrysizen is a different...
Chrysizen is a mess. The right bureaucrat would back you in a heartbeat. Anyway.
The bureaucrats we're worried about. But yes, go on.
Your assumptions, Heracles, resolve on one specific thing. Yes, I imagine at this point that we could wipe whatever was in our way, but at this point too, that assumes one thing, that I want to, and I do not.
Yes, your morals. Your
Yes.
convictions.
And your lack of yours.
My morals are where they should be. I believe in this town, in myself.
As do I. You say that as if I don't. I want an understanding. I want a natural growth. I want all negotiations to proceed. But you also understand, if you have seen these things in the north, that your protege is very useful versus them, whereas I am not. That should lend to an intellectual discussion of some sorts on your point, that my decision was rational, but perhaps you do not see the value in protege that I do.
We'll see about that. He's been out on the road for not but a few months. And already he's gotten himself into trouble enough to taint you with necromancy.
I've been tainted with a lot of curses. What's the necromancy thrown on the pile? Just stack it all up at this point.
Anyway. You all plan... Where are the other two of you? Did they stay behind? Afraid of me finally?
Honest, I just don't think they like you.
Yes!
I don't like
that
it,
doesn't explain why they're not here.
Sometimes in your long rants, there's things that come out of your mouth that are actually useful to me.
There is always useful things that come out of my mouth. If you're making your trip to the north, let me know what day you plan to leave. I will have your items for you when you do so. Is there anything else you wish to discuss?
What questions would I have with Heracles? Has his... I guess I'd be a little curious. Has his scrying revealed anything additional?
No. He has not been able to penetrate any further beyond the veil.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything specific for Heracles myself.
Okay. All right. How about the other two of you?
Sphinx, you're still making
No,
items and
Cassius,
stuff,
not
right?
you right now. I was talking about the other two people with Heracles.
I want to talk to him privately after. I think you're talking to Zeke.
I'm talking to Zeke and Ra. Yep.
I don't have anything.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to watch over what's going on.
Okay. Aravos is going to try to stay behind, and the other three of you leave. Is that correct? All right.
Yep, I'll head up.
Okay. You're still here.
Sorry, so quickly before this, I just want to know what is my knowledge of my apprenticeship? Like, do I know how long it was supposed to be? Do I know what's supposed to happen when I take this off? Like, do I know any of this, or is it all like a mystery kind of thing?
Your apprenticeship is until either he gives you whatever the ending of your apprenticeship is. Like, it's sort of like a mentor apprenticeship. Like, you're given access to a number of powerful things, and in exchange for the things that you'll take care of for him. And this is kind of the quester like things that he's sent you on to do, the errands that he's having you run.
I'm just wondering, like, because I don't know, you might have guessed by now, but Aravos probably wants to try to end this shortly. Sure. But I don't know if that's like common among wizards and apprentices, like how long they last. Like, is this rude, or like I want to know the
newer thing. Do you have any ranks in knowledge nobility?
I do.
Okay.
I also took one in knowledge law as well. I don't know if that.
No, this is more nobility. Give me a knowledge nobility here.
Okay. Knowledge nobility.
Okay. So in many of these cases, like, you can either see when this will end. Maybe this goes on forever. Maybe he does have an ending point, or you can just decide you've gotten enough of it and take your leave. Or you could maybe, in some cases, people have tried to demand certain things from their apprenticeship.
All right. Yes. As you may have guessed, I've recently grown in power and access to new circles of spells. I value the lessons you've taught me, but I also think it's time for me to...
He already has his hand extended.
I awkwardly shake his hand, and I say, I do have parting knowledge that I was still under your apprenticeship for. I'll just verbally tell him.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite interesting, really. I would, I hope to continue working with you if you are agreeable.
I will agree to such things.
Excellent. On the most recent journey, I'm not sure what you were viewing or not, but it looks like Sphinx had sacrificed a demigod to her new god. Mal has, as you heard earlier, signed a contract with my mother, my family is another disaster. My mother was clearly loopy when I spoke to her, but it may have been an act. And Mal revealed that he spoke to someone who had knowledge that no one should have. I'm not clear on what exactly transpired, but he got details of the enemy we were to face and knowledge that
read of the one with knowledge no one should have. This is the one called Candor.
That may have been the name he said. I heard it in passing. I was not with them when they met this person.
I wish to meet with this Candor. If you can arrange a meeting with me, I can promise you I will more than make it worth your or anyone else who can aid in the arrangements while.
I will keep this in mind, although I think the circumstance of their meeting was of Candor's choosing, perhaps, but I'll try and figure something out. Is there a way... You gave Mal an instant communication with you. Is there something you can give me to...
I don't want to give you something perfect, or I don't want to give you something repetitive, something reusable, but I think something in the moment that it happens could be useful.
Okay.
He reaches over and he grabs a very small trinket off the wall that looks like a little pebble. When it comes time that you need me, that you are going to partake in this endeavor, throw this upon the ground, and I will be able to be there.
Understood. I won't use it lightly.
It will only be usable once, and if you use it wrong, I will end you where you stand.
I would expect nothing less. I'll give him kind of like a, not a curtsy, but like a respectful bow.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I attempt to remove my necklace.
It will come off of you. And as you do so, you will feel somewhat uncomfortable. But it comes off, and it also feels like a weight has been lifted from you. And he takes the necklace from you. It will be hard to find another that will be as valuable as you have been so far. You understand this, right?
Again, I appreciate all the lessons you've taught me. In fact, I'm thinking of maybe getting an apprentice of my own eventually.
Good luck with that. They tend not to follow orders properly.
I know. Is it I don't know if I can make another check. Is it rude if I offer him some money as thanks, help him donate to getting a new apprentice?
Customarily it would be rude to offer him money. You've already given him your service. That is what he has of value. Or that is the value you've already provided to him.
If I were to come across any promising wizards, I'll be sure to send them your way.
I will find what I need.
Of course.
For you, however, some important information. And he still has the large book in his hand of the law magic. This needs to end. This is the thing of devils. And while many might think I might be a man that wants to utilize contracts for value, no one that means well ultimately will ever need to use something like this. This is not something I will allow anyone to learn. But I will replace it to you in its value. Do you understand me?
You're saying this law magic, it's similar to the one my parents or my mom used with Mal? It's unsavory?
It is the kind of magic that binds people to things that they wish not. Or things that they do not understand. If you can write something difficult enough to confuse someone, you can basically make them sign their life away. As I am worried that your traveling companion has done.
Is it worth trying to decipher a counterspell to such magic?
I have already begun the work on it. This needs to be undone, and this looks to be rather powerful magic. The magics contained within this book are magics that Well, let's be real. If I even gave you this book, much of the spells within it you would be unable to properly transcribe, let alone utilize the power necessary to manifest them. But it can be undone. All of these things must be able to be undone. And it blends well into a side project that I've been asked to look into by the military. Are you familiar with the city of Akunsant?
In passing, I've heard its name.
It is protected from invasion, and it protects its people on the inside. It ceases its people on the inside from being able to leave a certain proximity. They are all bound by a sort of law magic to be there, and others are restricted from entering by this same magic. The military asked me to look into a way to solve it, and until finding this book, I've had no insight as to how they could do such things. But this gives me the answers I'm looking for. This is an excellent find.
I would ask that instead of giving me any monetary value for the book, perhaps you can, once you decipher the counter spelling or dispelling of these types of magic, you can share such secrets with me.
I have a better idea, since again I wish not. You mean the ways to dispel these secrets?
To dispel the law magics. Yes.
I will share those with you.
Excellent.
What I am willing to give you for now in exchange for this is access to something you'll find exceptionally valuable. I had very powerful wizards fill this book with a choice of things that I think you'll be very happy to have. I hope I'm about right as to where your learnedness is. If not, perhaps you'll learn into it. And he reaches up and he pulls down a book and he hands it to you. This is a book that contains, let me pull this up real quick. Just need to make sure I know exactly how many are there. This is a book with all 9 of the 5th level divination spells in it.
All 9?
All 9 5th level divination spells.
Okay.
As well as permanency.
Ooh, cool.
Because each takes up 1 page. It is a 50-page spellbook. I believe this should be a reasonable trade for now. And once I unlock the secrets, you'll get the remainder of the value.
This is more than generous, Oraculus. You are a kinder teacher than most people give you credit for. Don't let anyone else see you like this.
Fair is important. That's
True.
what matters.
I guess I misspoke. I guess I misused kind with fair. You're very fair.
Thank you.
Although you did let Mal get some quips on you, I was surprised.
Quips are meaningless. The man basically sold his soul to your parents for you.
It's on me.
I don't know if you heard that.
No, sorry, I froze up.
Yeah. The man basically sold his soul for you.
Yes, it's quite odd. It seems like he's willing to do anything to get this mission complete. He did not have very much...
It's why I have some faith in his success. He's driven. Driven people get things done. The rest of your group seem to follow. Just make sure he doesn't let all that good shit stop him from doing what needs to be done, if you know what I mean. It needs to be eliminated. None of this bring it back alive shit, so it can kill us all.
No, as long as it's not a Pegasus, I think we're okay.
They're still going on about that, eh?
I should have slit its fucking throat.
Well, there'll be time for that in the future.
I do have a discussion with Heracles, but I don't want to do it like in front of everyone else.
Okay.
I would want to come back later on my own.
Yeah, so I'll just do like a once again thank him and then head out.
All right.
And take one last look as I'm about to leave the place I probably did a lot of studying and time spent, and do like a little nod of my head as I leave the door, and Arvo's ready to move on to the next chapter in his life.
Yep. All right. So, what else does everybody want to get done in town? I don't want to spend too much time in here. I heard you, Mal, say you wanted to talk to Reckless in private.
Mm-hmm. I want to get adaptive on my bow.
Okay. Magical things, like I said, just they need to go on the list in the Discord. If you've already put it there, then
okay. Well, no, because this would be the weapon store or whatever, not Sphinx. So that's why I didn't put it there. Because it's just a 1,000.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, this is still something Sphinx could end up making for you.
Okay, she has
she can use she has craft magical arms and armor. She basically has the feat tree. I think next level you're golem eligible, right? Or is it this level that you're golem eligible?
I didn't see a feed, but I could have missed it.
It's called.
I don't think we get feats till 9th. So.
No, she is 9. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
I think it's called Craft Construct, actually, not Golem. Yeah, it's Craft Construct. That's why you were having trouble finding it. But yeah, it just takes Wondrous Item and Magical Arms and Armor. So yeah, we can talk about that later, though, since you're spending most of the day right now crafting things. But yeah, she has Magical Arms and Armor, Wondrous Items, Potions. I think the only thing you don't have is scrolls.
Yep.
Well, we have someone to scribe those. We can have his petty ass farm that shit out for us. What else is he good for? Just kidding. Just kidding, John. Just kidding.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. Okay. We'll get to that separately, Dan.
Okay. That's fine.
So, what about the rest of you? Other stuff that the rest of you want to do in this time that you're going to be here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in finding out why the elections have been delayed so much, and I also want to know if any of the people running are mind-affecting spellcasters.
Okay. You will find that none of them running are spellcasters at all. They are all non-casting types, largely career politicians of some sort, or business. The dwarf is a businessman. The woman is an heiress of a large, wealthy family that comes from deep roots in Kazarim. And the third candidate is someone who has worked on the council for a long time and is seeking to kind of move up. But they've all kind of had their hands in some of the political goings-on in town.
I'm gonna go put the baby to bed.
Okay. But yeah, no spellcasters in the bunch.
All right. And do they have any connection to spellcasters?
How would you know that?
Well, I figured I'd be listening to rumors about them, or I guess it would be the local tavern.
Okay, you're not going to find any of that information. Like, there's nobody talking about that kind of stuff. unless you're just going to believe like whatever rumors fly, because you could hear a rumor about literally anything. You could hear a rumor that like, I think this guy's a snake person.
Well, I mean, I have knowledge local, so I mean, I would effectively use that to try and...
knowledge local requires a lot of time spent in the town to get like a more deep thing. But let's see how this goes. Give me a knowledge local. Okay. So with the 26, you'll know that it doesn't sound like any of them are really linked to any spellcasters either. It seems like a lot of the people in the town naturally came to the mindset that they don't want a spellcaster at the helm of this country, or at the helm of this city or town rather. A lot of people have been really fed up with like magic and spells being kind of stuck in a position of controlling them, or the fear of spells being that kind of thing. So they want people who aren't connected to magic. And this kind of links with what you know about the town, especially with regard to how the Raven has been doing things. The Raven has been completely uninterested with spellcasters, with religion, with all of these things. He would see them all gone from the town if he could. And so if he has sway in this election, it's very likely that he would be pushing out anyone that has linkage to any spells or probably any religion. This all seems like you can piece it together from the information you get from people around town, as well as the information you know about the town from the times you've been here.
All right. And did I find out any info as to why there's been such a delay?
The delay keeps happening because they keep having people drop out of the election. So they basically start prepping ballots, and then people drop out because they're worried that like they're going to stop a candidate that might have more people moved in that direction. So they drop out to kind of make it more likely that a candidate that's more willing to compromise might make the position instead.
All right. Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'm pretty satisfied as to any of the selections then.
Okay. You would probably fall in about that position, I think. Maybe if you were like a racist elf, you might have some opinions, but how about the rest of you during this time? Anybody else got anything while they're here?
Yeah. Was this town one of the towns that had a temple or a library for Shishat?
No. Their Library of Shishat is not a real Library of Shishat.
Oh, okay.
Temple to Delambrian.
Absolutely not. Although I like Delambrian more than I do Thoth, so.
Very minor thing. All I want is at some point to find a golden sapphire ring.
Sure. Done.
Yeah, I was basically just looking for that temple to see if there was any way for me to contact Kandor from here. Because I assume that would be the easiest place to try to contact him at.
Yep.
I'm well aware that it's probably a futile effort, but I'm kind of at an impasse right now.
Okay.
Or Cassius is kind of at an impasse, and he's kind of...
Cassius knows that somebody has a door that could get you to Luke Hill, and you know there's a temple there in Luke Hill.
Do I know where the door is at?
It's on the cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, by the way, when I was reminded of that bullet, I'm gonna keep that on the card as well.
Okay.
I don't want to keep it on my person in case there's some sort of scrying magics or something.
All right. So while the party goes off to have their conversation with Heracles, you sneak off.
I'm gonna talk to Pierre about it first.
Okay. Pierre just leaves the is like just tending to the cart. He doesn't really care. He's what's up?
I apologize for being a little brash before back in Chrysaisen.
You've always had some rough edges, but I think you're a good person overall.
Yeah, it seems like you had a little less control over your situation than I probably originally expected.
Sometimes ghosts just don't go away.
Yeah.
Cassius, whatever
What's
happened, I know it's not your fault. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't think you're the type of person to make reckless decisions. Just know I didn't want to make it worse.
I came alone. You know, did we ever fill him in on what happened down there?
Not really, no.
I'm gonna kind of give him a breakdown of what happened best I can without, just the major details of it all.
If you lay that out, he will also lay something out for you. I can do a lot more with this carriage than all of you might know. I used to help certain people get certain jobs done. When I left Chrysaisen many, many years ago, it was after it cost me what I had that I could call family. Many jobs that I'd done just kept getting worse and worse. Eventually, you get tired of making mistakes that weren't even mistakes. I don't even remember how I got into it. I don't remember how it got so far. But at least now, it's equal. It's all settled. I don't know what Dan did. Or I'm sorry, I don't know what Mal did. But it's been solved.
I appreciate that peace of mind.
Not a problem.
So,
you know what the deal with that door is?
Yeah.
Weird thing to be carrying on the cart. It's this big cart rolling down the road with a door on it. You ever seen a cart with a door?
Speaking of which, are we in like a safe place? Like, are there people around?
There are people like walking around, but Pierre's got the cart pretty well under control, and it's known to be you guys' cart. So this isn't the kind of thing that people would fuck with.
I was just gonna I'll kind of like look around for prying eyes and make it obvious that I'm looking around.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a reason that door's still here. There's a reason I'm here too.
Does it have to do with this door?
Yeah.
I figured as much.
Did anybody ever fill you in on about what happened up in that tower?
I was gone for quite a while before anybody found me. So no.
You know how we got out of there?
I assume you killed whatever caused you a problem.
Well, yeah, that was step one, and then I'll just kind of go like and knock on the door.
So it's an exit?
Yeah.
Or an entrance?
Something like that. I'm kind of stuck right now. I don't know what to do. Because it feels like everything that I'm trying to do lately, it's falling on deaf ears. And I'm real concerned about stuff that's going on, and I don't know where else to turn, so sure this place is a safe place for the cart.
Yeah. How'd they get that door out of there anyway?
Did I watch him do that? He was there for a while actually.
Yeah.
So, well, we have a pretty skilled engineer on our team.
Because if the door's what gets you out, how do you get the thing that gets you out the door?
Oh. Well, I think that it works something like this. And I'll be like, how long do I think that it would... Well, actually, I wouldn't know where it would come out in Lukill, would I?
Nope. You did not go through it originally to get to Lukill.
How big is Lukill?
It's a reasonable sized town.
Like, if I wanted to travel the distance of the city, like...
You could do it easily within, like, a few hours. It's not crazy huge.
What time of day is it now?
Early.
Roughly?
It's early. They went off to see Heracles pretty early in the day.
Okay. So, I guess it would probably be about, like, evening for, like, half the day. 15 hours, right?
No, not 15 hours.
I thought it was a 30-hour day, right?
It's like 10 hours of the day.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, if, oh, yeah. Because it's like 10 hours of night, right?
Mm-hmm. 10 hours of night, 20 hours of day. Which are not exactly proportional to what the actual time. The time is in our time, but...
Yeah. That would be like my estimate, or Cassius's best estimate.
Yep.
Well, it works kind of like this places, but I'm not backing about. I guess you can let Mal know, or Spinks, that I'm gonna be in Lukill.
Will do.
And I'll try to use the door.
Yep. You think of Lukill, and you step through the door, and you are standing in a closet.
I'm gonna try to slowly open this closet.
You are in what looks like an inn room. There is no one in it.
Oh, that's good. I'm gonna try to inconspicuously make my way downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Try to like get my way out of this room without and I'll like kind of keep a tab on which room it is.
Yeah.
Like write down the number of it and the name of the inn when I find that out. And then I'll just kind of head downstairs and ask the barkeep where the Temple of Shashat's at.
Yeah, you can head on over there.
I'll give him a little tip.
Yep. So here, it is not a temple, it is just a library.
Okay.
The temple portion shut down a little while ago for some reason.
Like since we were there last, or?
Yeah, it's been a little while. The last time you were there, it had been shut down.
I wonder why they shut down.
That's part of why Ra had to go visit that other temple. A fun temple.
Well, then I guess in that case.
The Temple of Gambling, I'm in!
Oh my god, that was actually really fun, though.
The Red Dragon Inn? Is that where I'm staying?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I would just refer to it as the library then if I knew that.
Yep. So you can head over there.
Yeah, I'll kind of keep a track on like how many hours I've been out.
Okay.
And when I get to about like 2 hours left, I'll make my way back to that inn just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. You make your way to the library. What are you looking for here?
Oh, is somebody asking me that, or
no? What are you looking for here?
Oh, I'm looking for a door. It's a very specific door that I went through last time.
The door's there when you get there.
I'll kind of look around and see if anybody's paying attention.
No.
And I'll make my way in there.
As you head on in the door, Kandor is standing in the room with books on the wall, but like a sort of makeshift bookshelf that he has behind him.
I know better than to ask.
Hello, me.
Yeah. Still don't know what that means, but I don't know where to begin. I'm at an impasse with the spirit mother thing. I know you told me not to worry about it, but I still don't know much about her. She's still talking to me every now and then. I appreciate it, but if I don't need to be corrupted by anything that's evil or anything of that nature. We got enough of that in our party.
I took paranoia. God damn it. Low int and paranoid. What was I thinking?
I didn't. What? Took?
Listen.
Anyways.
Not everything is bad. Some stuff is really bad. Not everything is bad.
Yeah.
Not everything.
That kind of actually brings me more to why I'm here. I don't know what to do anymore. Did you see what happened in that temple? I assume you're scrying on us like the rest of them.
It's not really scrying. He turns around and he pulls the book with your name on it off the shelf. And he sets it down in front of you. And he flips to the current page.
Read that.
You don't need to read it. Just watch.
Okay, I remember what happened last time.
And like, yeah, as he like talks to you, you can see at least like words kind of writing down on the page. And he'll close up the book and he'll put it back on the shelf. I have to keep these of the substantial where I can, but they're getting harder. If you're in certain places, I can't keep my eyes on you anymore. I've lost many of the things that keep things in sync. So only when I can see you can I keep the words going. Or now it's on me to keep an eye on things. I have to do it. It's so hard to watch people. There's so many things that they do. And I don't have the magic that I used to have anymore. The book is gone. The other book is gone.
Yeah, maybe you can help me out. If I don't know if there's anything I can do to help you with that stuff, but if you need anything, let me know.
Yes. Yes, there is. You can help a bit. Quite a bit. Yes. No, there isn't any more. Fuck. Listen to me. Right now, fuck, I have nothing. Nothing. God, I really hope this other experiment works. They better learn. Properly. Okay. I have a place.
Okay.
Where stuff was. But you can't get there. No, you can't help me anyway. You're not going. You've got so many other things. Focus on your mission. Trust the things that aren't trying to kill you. And stop trusting the things that are. You don't trust what propels you. I've read your book. There is no reason for you not to trust this being. You don't understand this being. I get it. You don't want to understand certain things at times, but it follows what her desires are. It follows who she is. She is its voice. She is who it is.
I'm just trying to figure out who it is. I know, like, 2 lines of text about this thing, and I just want to make sure that I'm not following anything that's going to lead me astray.
You picked it. You and I and you picked it.
Is that what happened? Or did it, like... Because I'm not exactly sure how they started.
No, other you, not you. Stop focusing on you and look at you. You picked it. Look into your inner you. You can't. Why don't people understand this? They can do it all the time. They can use their inner you to make all kinds of decisions, but they never look into their inner you to determine whether or not their inner you is making the decision or their outer you is making their decision. No, never gonna do that. But they'll most assuredly let their outer you control their inner you control their outer you.
Like philosophy or something.
No, it's sure, it's like philosophy.
You're talking about a lot of things that are above my head, and you're talking to me as if I know what they are.
You ultimately chose to follow the Spirit Mother. What's inside you made that decision.
All right, then.
It cannot be that bad if you made that choice.
I just was trying to find out something about it. But,
it
that was kind of
It has never truly had the right kind of voice. Thank you for the follow.
You think it's going to be able to find it with
come on.
What did I know there? I haven't mentioned anything.
You cut out, like...
It's probably going out.
Yeah.
Do I know what happened in there after I left? Did anybody...
In
on anything, or
in the temple after you left?
Yeah.
Nobody talked about filling you in, so...
Okay. Then I guess I wouldn't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kandor doesn't know either.
Well, I'll give him like a gist of what happened and like what happened up till when I left. And that kind of leads me to why I'm here.
There are a lot of ways that creatures become powerful. Killing each other, learning, developing a better understanding of things through other ways. If the creature is no more, something or someone gained its power. I'm not sure why, I'm not sure how, I'm not sure who. I hope it was the right thing and not the wrong thing.
I mean, nobody seems any different from what I can tell since they came out there, but I don't know. So found a bunch of weird artifacts down there. Some symbol, some house or something, I don't know. But I just need to know. I need a reason not to.
I wish I could help you know better, but I have not the books that I need to help you know better. And I remember not the spells I need to help you know better. Everything is wrong right now. Something needs to get fixed. Something needs to happen right. There has been a lot of wrong and a lot of missteps. A lot of choices and a lot of foolishness. A lot of decisions made where people thought they were making the right one, and then they leave their government to an evil organization, or to the gods, to the military, to the gods know what else.
Yeah, whatever those flags are.
Politics, I'm sure.
Yeah. I just need to know that I shouldn't do it.
You shouldn't do
because
what?
I don't.
What are you wanting not to do?
Surprised you don't know.
You want to kill the problematic one?
Seems like the best way to do it before he kills us. And I just don't know what to do anymore.
There is a balance. Cassius, was it?
Yeah.
There is a balance. You got a thing for seas. There is a balance that must exist. If everyone simply did the right thing, the story would suck. Good tales need interesting people. The wrong people, the right people. Conflict. He has what you might need in the right level of conflict. I wouldn't trust that he would save you in a circumstance. But his motivation is still to live and to become more powerful. This is something that can be used. As long as you know how to keep an eye on him and keep him in check. And I'd say from the way you're looking right now, you're doing pretty well at that. I don't think you or that leader of yours would let something like this happen. And you're the other one, the one that I think misunderstands the alignment table at times. He wouldn't let it happen either.
So I shouldn't do it.
Focus on the mission. If you fuck up the mission, you're all dead. If you eliminate him, you reduce the likelihood you live. The more you have, the better it's going to go. Listen, I can tell you from experience, normally these things don't work well with 6 just in general. It normally just becomes some sort of big problematic thing where the game just seems like it's fighting you harder than it needs to.
Pardon me, but is this some kind of story, some kind of game to you?
I've got the stats if you want to see them.
The hell does that mean? Mal would probably know better than me. He's been spouting off all this crazy nonsense since he came here.
Listen, it's probably going to be stronger since there's as many of you as there are. Or maybe it is what it is, and it's been that way for a while. I don't really know how the decisions are made, and lately the decisions seem to be being made differently. Which has got me a little concerned. Almost very concerned. Different decisions being made might mean someone different is making the decisions. Oh my god.
What you saying, Mal's possessed or something?
No. You need to focus on the mission. I have something much bigger to deal with. Oh my god. Shit. If that's true, we could all be in grave danger. You need to focus on the task at hand. Don't let yourself get distracted. Stay focused. Don't take lives frivolously. Anyone that can help you is a benefit. If I'm right, he still has to play by the rules. He can bend them, but he still has to play by them. He still must be in the same one. I don't think he can escape. He can't get back in, but I don't think he can get out either.
It's not something I'm supposed to understand, is it?
It's something for the viewers at home.
You got like a viewing globe in here?
Oh, God. Why so dumb? I hope at least your wisdom is high. You tend to gauge people well?
I'd say so.
All right. Well, high wisdom this time. There's always a high mental stat in there somewhere. Except Dave. Oh, Dave, how I hated him. Well. Anyway. Look. I need you to go. I need to work on something. I think I've given you enough information, and too much of this is really hard for me to endure.
Okay.
Besides, I need to check in on the other project.
Okay.
There are 5 new students that are about to get together. I need to make sure everything's going to go well for them.
Kind of Viewing globe. I don't know. Well, I guess, if you need anything, just let me know.
I will be where I need to be when I need to be there.
Sounds like everything else you said. I appreciate it, though.
I hope you do. Just know,
May not understand all of it, but I appreciate it.
I am always with you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. That man is as bright as a plank of wood.
I guess I'll take my leave.
All right.
I'll head back to the town.
Yep.
I'll make sure to meet up with Pierre.
All right. Pierre is there. You're back. Very good. I still don't understand it, though. The door was in the place you were, and you took it out. That is a feat of engineering, if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, I can't say that I understand how it happened, what kind of magical chicanery was going on, but seems to work. Well, I know if you need to get to the kill, I guess you can.
That could be useful if you guys need it, I guess.
Well,
I hope you found whatever you were looking for there.
I found about exactly what I expected. But, I don't know. I think I'll find, what I need probably at the inn. I think I'm going to be there for a while.
All right. And anything else from the rest of you?
I don't recall what temples are there here.
There is
it just
there is the false temple of Shishat. There
Yeah.
is the cult of Thoth. There is the temple of Delanrian, and that is it.
Okay. Is there any sort of library of sorts here?
Just the
Or
one
not
that's in
really?
the false temple of Shishat.
Yeah, I'm not going in there. Fuck that place. Okay.
I think then this is where we're going to break for tonight. We'll figure out some math as to how many days end up passing by. And a lot of things will get made in the process. Are there any questions before we wrap up, or anything anybody needs to know before next session?
Should my thing with Oraclus be next session too?
Oh, we can actually do that right now. Let us wrap that up. I'm sorry. Thank you for the reminder. So, Mal, you will go to see Heraclus on your own. It will take you. He'll make you wait for a little while, but eventually
Naturally.
he'll let you see him, since you're important enough.
I would walk in, sort of sit down wherever he normally has people sit down.
He doesn't have anybody sit down. He has no. There are no seats in here. You all stand.
Then I stand. And I kind of just look at him and just...
Yeah, he's not even really looking at you. He's like focusing on like books as he moves them about or doing various things. But he like glances at you periodically. Yes, what is it? Where are we going with this?
I'm surprised that you don't see the same value in your protege that I do. If I'm being honest.
I don't see the value in you being a potentially lost asset to something you know very little about. If I understand this correctly, it's based on consciousness. It will be temporary if he is brought back, but it is based on consciousness. You are willingly allowing him control in exchange for your consciousness. Or in exchange for your consciousness.
I figured they would probably try and finagle some angle like that into it, but nonetheless, it's... I will do my best to keep him alive. It's inevitable that one way or the other, something was going to happen. I had to make a decision, and I made my decision. And I have to live with it. I have to stop doubting my decisions every time I make them. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you
That's
don't.
the soundest thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth so far. And he, like, stops looking at books, and now he is, like, dead staring at you.
I need you to understand one thing about Miraculous, or maybe you already understand about it. I believe this blight, this Zomluva, as I call them, they will not stop. They will continue, they will destroy everything, and I believe it's perhaps my only purpose to stop them. Perhaps my decisions do not make sense because you do not understand the gravity that I take that duty with. I will do anything it takes to stop them.
I understand conviction. I am not someone who fails to comprehend the value of that, Maldronicus. I would do just about anything to keep this town in order.
Then you and I can see eye to eye on this. I could have destroyed these people, yes. But then there's always that niggling chance that they show up again at the bad time. Everything with this operation is extremely delicate. I had to be certain. Perhaps I'm too meticulous sometimes in these details, but I felt it was necessary. Maybe I was wrong, but I do not have your divination abilities. Which is why I come to you. I need to ask you a question. You know of what I have taken upon myself. You know that I will protect your protege. You know that I will bring you much. I've already brought you much, I feel like.
Indeed.
I'm not stupid. I know the value of what I have brought you. And truthfully, I don't care. You help me, I help you. That's just fine. There's a greater evil at play, and I do not care about the nuances at this point. But what I need to know, and I take up the longsword. This magic on this blade is more ancient than... It took me a very long time to get to the point where I can understand these types of nuances. It's very ancient and it makes me curious. Could this magic be learned if I needed to?
Reverse engineering what exists in what already has something is much more difficult to do. Especially since the gods instituted the barrier.
Yes, I understand, but you see, part of my power comes from my touch things, and they become the equivalent of what would be a craftsmanship. I can go back and forth with this so easily. And I almost wonder if this blade could exist. Could I will this blade's abilities? What would it require to do this?
He looks at the blade you have in question. That is a minor blade. That is merely a blade which perhaps a captain of the guard would wield. Just older, it seems. What are you getting at?
What? It is simple, and that is why I bring it to you. It is a focal point, a very simple beginning case. If we can understand how this works, and how ancient ways worked, perhaps we could understand everything else about them.
You're talking about trying to unravel the veil.
I'm talking about unraveling
Or
time.
the barrier.
Which I already know that you are trying to do.
Unraveling time.
Yes. Which you are already trying to do.
What are you thinking? Out with it.
I want to understand how to create the greatest armors and weapons that could be created. Not in this time, in all time.
This is some Aravos level statements.
Yes, but unlike Aravos, I do not want them for my own dicking off, per se. I think they will be necessary if we are to succeed.
Reverse engineering the spells of the past, or taking the magics of the past and placing them into other things, is not something that is easily done without mastery of the past. But I think I get what you're looking for. What is it that would be of greatest benefit for you? They're not going to be permanent. You are not going to be able to remanufacture relics of the past.
I agree. But some of these relics, they seem to cut harder than... More consistently, they seem to cut. And I would like to know how that happens. I have never been able to manufacture something that does this.
Imagine for a moment, if you can, that long ago there was a technique that existed. This is a bad example. Imagine that once upon a time, a creature so powerful that you cannot comprehend it forged something with its hands that now no one will ever be able to forge the same way because they don't have the tools or the materials, and that's still not a good analogy. Oh, I hate making analogies. You're just not getting it. You cannot remanufacture the past. We are not gods, Maldronicus. My work with time has yielded me nothing but pain and suffering. Only one man I know of has successfully managed to break the barriers of time. Oh, I'm sorry, only 2 men. And one of them is very likely dead, and the other one hides himself as often as he can. In all my research, I do know, though, that I have been here before. And I want to know how I can do it as well. The truest understanding of the future is to live it again and again and again until you solve it.
I see, Heracles, then. You have been useful in explaining to me that I cannot do this. This is fine. It was still nonetheless a good conversation.
I can facilitate some part of what you're after, however. And I will facilitate it as my gift to you. He walks over, and he pulls down a scroll from off the wall. If I've been watching your style of combat correctly, this should be of some use to you. And he hands you a scroll written for you, but with a symbol, with the words at the top written out of what the spell is. The spell is written as Ancient Haste.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, not Ancient Haste, Ancient Keen Edge. I think it's called Keen Edge was the name of the spell in 3rd edition. Make sure that's correct. Keen Edge. I will give you the details. I will fill the details into your book later. But it will stack along with Improved Critical.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. And that is where we'll wrap for the night. We'll be back again next week, next Thursday, at the usual time. Sunday is the next episode of some of what Kandor was speaking of. Mirashad. That will be happening at our usual 6:30ish time. We'll catch you guys later. Good night.